Good afternoon and welcome to the Pioneering Mindset Training with Joe Garcia, multi-millionaire here with NHT Global. This afternoon, Joe is going to be sharing with you some amazing information with regards to the tremendous success that we've had globally as we have developed the emerging markets. So if you're on this call, what I would suggest is please grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and this way you'll be able to take down some powerful notes. And you'll also be able to get back with the person who invited you on this call. If you're looking at this opportunity, you've seen some things, you'll be able to get those questions answered. So again, developer of the steamteam.ca website, member of the advisory council to the president, member of the Millionaires Club, one of the top trainers in the industry today here with NHT Global, has traveled the world, has been written up about, and is one of the top leaders here, my personal mentor, my coach, who has helped me to develop my business around the world. I want to turn this call over to Mr. Joe Garcia. Joe, the call is yours.
Hey, thank you, Patrick Tulloch. Thank you very much, Pat. It's my pleasure and honor to speak to all over the world here. Very excited about what's happening with NHT so far in 2013. And for those of you who don't have the opportunity to speak with me one-on-one, I definitely here in the near future, you're welcome to reach out to me, and because I have a passion through NHT to help people change their lives. I've been blessed here over the last specifically over the last 12 years here with NHT Global, to travel the globe, to see miracles happen where people's lives have been changed. The experiences I've experienced in traveling in so many different cultures and working with great leaders and great people in all different kinds of cultures and backgrounds. You cannot teach that kind of stuff to people, or you cannot eloquently just share these types of experiences. But I have this passion in letting people know that anything is possible. Because of all the miracles I've seen where, housewives and farmers and people from everyday backgrounds now that have earned millions of dollars here with NHT Global, and how they've been able to tap into our system and flourish. This is what I'm most proud of. And ladies and gentlemen, you have not seen anything yet. I know we have many of our African partners here in Nigeria and Kenya and a few other countries in Africa that have just on this webinar. We've got people, and we're pioneering into South America. Where looks like we're going to be pioneering more into the Indian market and throughout Asia. So there are great things that have been happening here with NHT Global. One of the things that I wanted to parlay and help the individuals, especially in the Nigerian market and Kenya and throughout Africa, is understanding what it's like to be a pioneer and what makes a pioneer successful and the ones that continue to struggle. And like Pat said, I'd highly recommend that you take a pen and paper here. I'm going to cover a number of points based on my experience, and how NHT got started in 2001 is I had a vision in 2001 where I knew that I could grow this business globally. Because what? Because of the most incredible invention ever known to mankind, and that was the internet. And as a businessman, as a business person, I started recognizing that I could reach out to people all over the world like they were in my own backyard and build relationships with them. And once I built relationships with them, help them see the vision that we had here with NHT Global, and then further that vision with the systems of personal development and helping them achieve greatness. So I had a couple of choices, ladies and gentlemen, back then. Yes, NHT Global was willing to go global, but I also understood that they would not invest into markets or countries that they weren't doing any business in. Because that's the definition of suicide for any company, is doing all the necessary work and investments, and you have no business in that market, you can go bankrupt very quickly, no matter how much money you have. So I knew, instead of waiting for NHT, I started pioneering markets all over the world. So when you go to nhtglobal.com and you see all those countries, the flags that you see on that site, you know, primarily it was I and my business partner, Dan, that did the work necessary to get those countries up and running. And this is what I'm going to share with you here today, because I believe communication is vital. You know, I don't believe in sharing people, you know, this great vision where it cannot be attained. I believe in just telling people exactly what they need to do, the challenges that they'll go through, the mindset that they need to create, the personal development that they have to develop. So when they're prepared, then that vision can be attained. So, so this is what I did. You know, I started marketing in Asia, and I started getting business partners in China and throughout Hong Kong and Taiwan, and it just started expanding from there. And I didn't want to wait for the company, because it may take them a year or 2 years or 3 years to get in those markets. So I just kind of pushed it. And I knew that if I did the sales volume and help these people expand and explode, you know, then the company would support me in the efforts. And this is what's happened all over the world. Right now, personally, I'm pioneering more than 15 countries. And I'm working very hard in getting those markets to a situation where we are in the position to explode the business. So here's how it works, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to take you through 4 different phases that I have developed through this system. And it's important for many of you to write these things down, to think about what I'm going to be talking about, to understand what I'm going to talk about, because I really want to make sure that you understand, and I really want to make sure that you're prepared to do what the next 2 to 3 years. So the first thing, and here's what I did with this system of pioneering. I started helping people understand the big picture. Okay, and for those of you who are on the line here today and will be listening here in the future, we're in 36 countries. We have 42 millionaires. We have 10 people to 100,000 a week. Many of our pioneers globally in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, throughout Eastern Europe, Western Europe, throughout the markets of Asia and Korea, South Korea, and Japan. You know, most of our pioneers in these markets have actually semi-retired. They're multi-millionaires. Because, ladies and gentlemen, timing is everything in a business. It's even more important today than it was 10 years ago in NHT Global. I'll give you I'll tell you why. Is NHT already has the story. We've got this incredible background and a story and a proven business model. So everybody that is looking at NHT today doesn't have to think, is this business model work? Are they trying to scam me? Are they going to be in business here in the next couple months or 6 months? If I invest my business, my money, will they be here a year from now? You know, at the beginning, you know, the first 5 years in business, those were many of the challenges I had to work through. And I had to help people believe in me that I would not get involved in a business model that I wouldn't believe in. You know, but it was also a risk. You know, I had no control over what would happen on the corporate end financially. So they had to believe in what I was saying. Today, that's out of the equation, because we are a proven business model. But people see what we've done. They see the countries that we've invested. They see the promotions, as you see on the slide here, Paris, the money that it takes to put these things together. Proven business model. We are positioned like very few companies are globally, ladies and gentlemen. We're the pioneers in e-commerce and network marketing. We revolutionized the industry in 2001 with that. We also revolutionized the industry in our compensation plan. The compensation plan has worked so well in the last 12 years. The companies that have launched in the last 12 years have gone with our compensation plan model, and they've also gone with our e-commerce back office model because it's proven. So it's easy to follow something that already works, but it's hard to be a pioneer. This is what NHT is. We are a pioneer. I'm a pioneer. So basically, keeping that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone into these markets. Can you imagine going into these markets, working from scratch, starting from scratch, starting from the beginning where we didn't have the tools, the systems, even the training that we have today, the global outreach, the story we didn't have. But all it took was me to go in there with my focus and determination that I was going to make this work. So as a mindset for the pioneers that have launched in Nigeria, for example, I wanted to recognize Charles and Seam for an incredible, awesome job. When I first talked to Charles and he decided to come on board with us, he understood what it would take to pioneer into Nigeria. You know, I had told Pat, you know, we have a very special guy here. He is going places. He is exactly what we were looking for in that market. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, don't take that very lightly, because I've gone all over the world. I've worked with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. I'm what you would call a talent scout. I see and I know the types of people that will do well in our business. You never really know, because you never can tell the size of someone's heart. But you kind of have, I kind of have a template, a feeling when I know we've got some talented people. And congratulations, Charles. I know you're here online here. I'm really excited about what's going to happen in Nigeria here in 2013 because of your decision. Just imagine, Charles, how many people you're going to change their lives just because of sharing and starting here with NHT Global. So the mindset is very important. So a pioneer needs to be totally immersed in personal development. And you can write this down, ladies and gentlemen. Your size of your check and anything you do, like particularly in NHT Global, will be based on the amount of personal development you do or the level of consciousness that you are in life. And to repeat that, your income that you will make in this world, particularly here in NHT Global, will be based on the level of consciousness that you have reached or the level of personal development you have reached. So when that was first told to me, I immersed myself and studied in improving my skill sets. I knew it wasn't just going to be a year of doing it. I knew it was going to be a lifestyle. So I incorporated that in my daily, everyday work. So when I reach out to a pioneer, when I met and started with a pioneer in a market, I make sure that they're involved in personal development, in improving themselves better as a person, as a leader, developing the skill sets, developing more of a charismatic nature to themselves, being the kind of person that will attract greatness into their life. So personal development is very important. You go to steamteam.ca, and on steamteam.ca we have a number of free books that I've added there, which I have got exclusive rights to here on the internet. Great books like Think and Grow Rich. These are all ebooks that you can download for free. Science of Getting Rich, a must for everyone that gets started in Nigeria and Africa here. Very important that all the new distributors start with that book. It immediately sets them up for success in our business. A pioneer needs to have a great attitude. Nobody wants to work with people that are complainers, that are not solution-oriented. You know, I don't even want to work with those types of people. I know if someone is a complainer, it looks at the negative side of things, it's never going to work in that market. So it's real important, and this is what I saw in Charles. He was him and his wife were great on the phone. They're very positive. Their energy level was great. You know, everything about them I loved. You know, there was no red flags as I call them, with the conversations that we had with that great couple. So the solution-oriented, here's the thing with pioneering, is there'll be a lot of people that are coming into our team. Right now, we are shipping from the U.S. into Nigeria. It takes a little while to get there, so it's not like you're in Lagos and you can go pick up the product or it gets there in 2 or 3 days. No, it's going to be shipped over to you. So you need to have the patience. You need to teach that through your organizations, saying, and be very upfront with new people, saying, pioneering is not for anybody. This is the perfect time. We're going to build an incredible group. You either want to be at the beginning, or you can be here when we're officially launched in 2 or 3 years. It's up to you. However, if you're in the right mindset, you follow what we do, you're going to have a head start. You're going to have an incredible opportunity to make serious money because of the timing. So, solution-oriented, you got to be patient. We may have some issues with customs. You never know. So this is where I can come in, all over the world. You name it, I've experienced it. However, we've gone through those challenges as pioneers. Was it difficult sometimes? Sometimes, yeah. But I always found a way, and we always made it work. And just look at all the markets that we've opened up here over the last 12 years. It's been incredibly worthwhile. So solution-oriented, the leaders, and this is what I saw in Charles and his wife, the integrity, leadership skills. These are all important because you're starting something from scratch. You want to have integrity. You want to be upfront with people. And, that's all part of building a foundation. When we do it the right way with the right integrity, then the right foundation is applied. There's no need to lie to people or exaggerate to people, tell them that they're going to be a millionaire in their first month. No need to do that. We don't need to do that here in NHT because of our proven business model. Obviously, communication skills is very important. As pioneering, this is why we're doing this webinar. I want to prepare people for everything that may happen in the pioneering stage. Custom challenges, maybe duties applied to some of the products, maybe a delay in some of the products being shipped, maybe got hung up. Those little kind of issues that happen along the way. Again, we communicate that and we become solution-oriented. We always find a way. So the mindset here is so important. So this is what I cover with all the pioneers around the globe that we have started, and now we're officially approved in those markets. The biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you can write this down, very critical, is there needs to be a level of commitment. Here's what commitment means to me. Doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood has left you. Doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood has left you. So when I got started in NHT, and when I talked to all these pioneers, when I got started in NHT, I made a commitment to myself and my family that I was going to make this work no matter what. I was never going to think about quitting. Because it's a big responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, network marketing, where you're going out and you're selling yourself, you're selling your integrity, you're selling about what you're going to do in the future. It's all about you. And when you're starting to sponsor new people into the business, they're looking up to you. You're basically saying, believe in me, I'm taking you places. And I knew that level of commitment that I had with these people. And when people talked to me, when they sat in front of me, or Patrick, they knew that I would be here long term because I made that commitment internally. This is why I am here today with this incredible story, because I made that commitment. So every pioneer that I get started with, and this is what we discussed with Charles, is you're going to need to give us at least a 3-year commitment. We're not going to make you sign things. This is a verbal commitment because I know and I want to make sure that you're prepared to do what we need to do over the next 3 years. If you're not willing to make a commitment, then it's not for you. And this is what I go through everybody. And then the last thing I want to cover here today is the system. Okay, the team in Nigeria is growing quite quickly. We've had a number of new people start here this week. And this is something that everyone in NHT needs to understand is our recognition plan. And there are targets that you can reach in NHT, and it's all about reaching those targets. And I would recommend that you all get familiar with the recognition plan. We've got the first position which is the associate position, then the leadership position, the leader position, and then it gets all the way to the top, which is an ambassador position. So we drive our business and our system through our recognition plan. So everyone that's getting started in NHT, their first goal should get to the associate level, which basically is that you need to do 2,500 on one side and 5,000 another, 2 out of the 3 months in a 1 quarter. So that we're in the first quarter, so January and February, or you do it in January and March, now you've qualified at the position. You obviously can skip levels if you reach that senior level, for example, which is the 4th level in the recognition plan. You reach that, you do that 2 out of 3 months, now you qualify at that position. Part of the system too is, I know we're just starting with, we've got the webinars, another tool that people can learn more about NHT. We've also going to be implementing weekly business presentations in Nigeria, for example. And then what our goal is to spread that from, from Lagos to other cities across the country. So we're having consistent business presentations by the leaders showing the business model. Usually what we do in the pioneering stage as support is, you can utilize Pat and myself where we go online. They can see us up on big screen. I do that all the time around the world where they can see me up on big screen and we say a few words, share a story, and just reconfirm what the leaders in those local markets do. So that's another way that we use technology to help develop our business brand, because it's all about support. Support and training is critical. So let me just review, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1 is timing. We talked about the timing. We talked about, all our pioneers globally, where they are today. We're pioneering Africa. You're not only just pioneering Nigeria, you're pioneering a continent. And obviously that will be expanded from there. So timing is essential. Is pioneering for everybody? No. But for the right people, they'll have a huge head start to the point where they can set up their family for generations. And again, most of our top income earners were pioneering a market around the globe that we have now opened up. I talked about mindset. How important is the mindset? What a pioneer needs to do to develop that mindset and consistently be in communication with us, helping them go through some of the expected challenges in the future, et cetera, et cetera. And pioneering, it's all about integrity. Being a foundation of integrity, teaching people the truth, being upfront, communicate what is happening in the market on a consistent basis. And this is why Pat and I are doing this webinar. Goal-oriented. And this is a question that many of you may think, when is NHT going to open up NHT Nigeria, for example? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will only happen if we do volume. When we start to do about $50,000 a month in sales, and then we get up to 70, 75, and eventually up to 100, this is when, I can get the company to now go in and do the necessary work where we're launching Nigeria officially to the whole world of NHT. You imagine when we launched Nigeria, for example, this year, we're launching Kazakhstan and Ukraine and Peru at the end of this month. So when we open those markets, these pioneers have had it for themselves the last 2 years. Once we open it up, now all of NHT is going to be recruiting in those markets. So that same thing will happen with Nigeria. So you'll have a major advantage by getting started now developing the team now until the rest of the world of NHD realizes we're doing business in Nigeria. So that's just a little bit about the system and the information I've shared here with you all today. I want to leave you with one last thought, and that's about our Paris incentive trip. We drive our business through incentives, and I see a vision where we have 10s and 20s and 30s and more people in Charleston, Nigeria, in Paris in September, celebrating the achievement. And I see that vision very clearly. I know Pat does too. So what I recommend is everyone that you're introducing to the business, share with them the qualifications. Show them what's going on about Paris. You know, get them focused on achieving that Paris promo. And I tell you, those people that qualify for these promotions, we've had many the last 2 or 3 years, are now some of our top distributors globally. Because then as a new distributor, they go in, travel is a great incentive, and they'll go there and they'll meet some of the top leaders, and they see the lifestyle. They're up in the best hotels, and they're all feeling all this great lifestyle. And and they go back home and they start telling their friends and their families and their colleagues and their teams, and the business explodes. When you taste the lifestyle, you never want to go back. And I can remember when I first got started in network marketing, and I was invited to the first promo trip, and there was a whole bunch of leaders there, and and their families were up in a beautiful hotel. It was just unbelievable experience. And I sat down, and I can remember sitting down with my wife. We're on the end of the bed, and I go, Margaret, I want this more. I want more of it. You know, one of the tricks of me reaching my goals, you know, so for example, when you go and let's say your goal is to buy a Ferrari or get into a Porsche or get into a car that you love, quickest way to speed that goal setting, the desire, to fuel the fire, is go and get in test drive or rent the car for a day and then drive it around. That will fuel your desire in getting that. You know, I remember the first time I flew first class, you know, a lot of money. And I go, wow, geez, I never want to fly anymore in the back. Because, again, when you feel it, you experience it, you want more of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this conversation that we're having here today. It's going to be taped. It is being taped. We're going to be putting it up on the Steam Team site. I know I'm going to turn it over to Patty to have some final last words. I appreciate everyone. God bless. Let's make 2013 your greatest year ever. We're going to be achieve your dreams and your goals. Thank you very much. Pass it back to you, Pat.
Thank you, Joe. Great to have you on the call here today. Thank you for taking the time to share, your vision and your understanding of what it takes to be, a pioneer in this business today. You know, we always have, distractions in our lives, and we need to understand that by staying on course, we can achieve, our personal and financial goals. So what I would recommend is for those individuals who are on this call today is, one, to get back to the person who invited you on this call because you wanted to learn more, you wanted to get some of your questions answered, and hopefully you have, and we can help you take the next steps. Number two is to look at where you want to position yourself. We've got the amazing trip, as Joe mentioned, with regards to Paris, France, where, it can be all expenses paid for you and your significant other, and it's going to be one heck of a trip in September of 2013. And again, the incentive program. Take a look at the incentive program, which you'll be probably seeing very shortly. and see how you can qualify. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for Charles Asine, and also a gentleman who I've come to know recently, Mr. Taiwo Bamaduro, who is building an awesome business. Look forward to working with those gentlemen and their team as we move forward here in 2013. January is going to be an amazing month. We've got an amazing special available right now through to the end of the month. You need to get details on that promotion up until the end of January. So again, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to be on this call here today. My name's Patrick Tulloch, and I'm going to sign off from beautiful, sunny Toronto, Canada. Good afternoon and good night.